Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. All right, so today I want to answer very frequent question that I get asked, and it's about retirement funds. Sometimes we run through some hardships and we want access to our retirement funds, and we just to go and take the funds, and we don't know what are the consequences because they don't tell you, or if you don't ask. So what you're gonna find out that you will get a 1099-R at the end of the year saying, okay, you took that amount of distribution, and guess what? It's taxable. If they don't know why you took this money, if it was not like a rollover to another institution or so, it would say maybe exception applies. And in this case, it would be taxable. So when and for what plans can we withdraw money from our retirement accounts without having to incur any penalty? That's what we're covering today. All right, so let me share my screen with you, and we'll start right in. And I thought since we're talking about retirement to do some some joke related to retirement. So this is the one I found to be nice. Let me just hide my video here and do present. Yeah, it's when you stop lying about your age and start lying around the house. That's when retirement starts. But we're not there yet. So we're talking that we're before the retirement age and we want to take money out of our retirement. So what would we do? So can I withdraw funds from my retirement plan without incurring a penalty? That's what we're covering today. So generally, when is it penalty free? When you're age 59 and a half or older, then you're able to take money, you're able to withdraw from your 401k, from your IRA without a 10% early withdrawal penalty. However, you still pay income tax. So if we're talking about traditional, that's a pre-tax 401k, IRA, you put the money, you took the tax deduction during the time you were contributing to it. Now you want to withdraw at age 59 and a half, then you're able to there's no penalty, but you're paying the income tax at the time of the withdrawal unless it's a Roth IRA or Roth 401k. What happens with the Roth? Your contribution, you contributed this after tax, right? Or even Roth 401k, you contributed this after tax. So if you want to take the money out of the account, you can do that at any time, tax and penalty free, but only the amount that you took, because the earnings that you had on the account, this is tax and penalty free only if you withdraw it before after you're 59 and a half, or if the account has been open at least for 5 years. So those are the two exceptions when you take money out of your Roth IRA. So contribution, you can take anytime, even if you did not reach the retirement age, no penalty. But the earnings that have been on the account, it gets taxed and you get to pay penalty on if it's before the 59 and a half or if it's before 5 years of opening the account. All right, so that's the general idea. All right, what if I am way under age 59 and a half? I'm running through hard time. I want money. And that's when the question frequently comes. Can I take money and not incur the 10%? And there are few exceptions that we need to consider in this case. If we're under the age, there has to be an exception of applying that's like an IRS exception. You can't just say, oh, I'm having a hard time, I'm having a financial hardship. The IRS defined that in certain exceptions. And one and here for traditional IRA and 401ks, it go the same thing. 401k, when I say 401k, I say any employer sponsored plan like 403b, any similar plan would be the same. But IRA is the one that's different because it's an individual retirement account that you open on your own. It's not by the employer. But for both of them, we find the same exceptions apply. One is when you buy your a home for first time. So first time home buyer, you get up to $10,000 out of your IRA. 401k doesn't have this option. Higher education expenses. So you can actually withdraw money from IRA, taking that to pay for your higher education expense, like think a college expense or graduate expense. Permanent disability. In case of permanent disability, they allow you to take money without incurring penalty. Substantially equal periodic payments, and that's when you kind of like, this is not very common, but this is when you like retire early and you want extra funds and you want access to your money and you agree to kind of like a series of fixed payments and you commit to it per the IRS approved amortization schedule. Unreimbursed medical expense, but if it exceeds 7.5% of your AGI. So not any just medical expense, it has to be exceeding 7.5% of AGI. That amount is what gets to be free from taxes, from the penalty. Health insurance premiums while unemployed. What if you got unemployed and you're still paying for health insurance? You don't know how to afford it, so you took money from your IRA account to pay for that. Then it wouldn't be subject to 10% penalty. Qualified birth or adoption, and this is like a one-time thing if you've got a new child, and this is up to $5,000 per child, of course. Emergency expense distribution, and this is something that is started in 2024, and they don't usually ask you to prove that it's an emergency kind of thing, but some plans require some self-certification, and this is just up to $1,000 a year. If you're serving on an active duty call and you were called to serve for like more than 179 days or so, and you took money out of your IRA, it's also not subject to 10% penalty. Some specific to the 401ks that don't apply to the IRAs is a separation from service after age 55 or age 50 for public safety employees. If there is a qualified domestic relation order, and this is if there is a separation or divorce agreement, and loan provisions. Some plans, some 401k plans allow you to take loans and pay yourself interest and all of that, but this is more like, again, specific to your 401k. IRA doesn't have that option. All right, so in this case, when you take money out, it wouldn't be subject to the 10% penalty. That's what we're focusing on today, how to avoid that. Because in all cases, taxes still apply even if there is no penalty. So even when you avoid the penalty because of these exceptions we talked about, because you needed the money to do this or that, the traditional retirement plan withdrawals are usually taxable as ordinary income. So it would be added to your income as taxable income. Of course, except for the Roth account under the qualifying conditions we talked about in the beginning. All right, so you still pay taxes, but no penalty. All right, so I hope that answered the question that I get a lot of the time. Okay, now I'm having a hard time. Can I take money without incurring the penalty? Yes, you can, only if it falls under these provisions. If you have any further questions, or if you need, of course, there's some other uncommonly known like domestic abuse situations or a few things like that that would have you also withdraw money without a penalty. So if you're thinking you have a certain situation, you're not sure whether it will apply or not, just reach out and we'll advise you accordingly. All right. Thank you, everyone. Hope you have a great one. Bye.